Hey, welcome to another module of how to actually motion over classical figures. This is the 27th module, and we're going to talk about deposit, closing, and outcome. Objection framework, the true number. Permission is 1 or 2x. Tell them on what your art was really going on and the truth. CIA path. Clarify and understand, isolate the objection, appreciate and reassure, permission, accountability, confirm the meaning, and time to decide. The nice guy negotiation. Clarify and understand, appreciation and knowledge, state your position, and ask them how would you like to proceed. Reframe. The call out. Can I be honest with you for a second? You just got done telling me XYZ, and now you're saying that it seems like XYZ. What's really going on there? It's a simple decision. Look, I get that you're passionate about XYZ, but the decision is really simple. Do you want to stop pain, cost, and urgency of XYZ and have XYZ outcome and desire or not? So the real decision is, it isn't if you're going to work well with me or anybody else out there. The real decision is, are you ready to have your action align with your words? The real decision is, are you ready to stop paying cost urgency and start exploring the outcome or not? It doesn't really matter to me, but that's really what's at stake for you here. Confusing a problem with the solution. Circumstance versus situation. I totally hear and I can appreciate that you don't feel like you can do this because you don't have enough time or insert whatever problems. Confusing. But I also want to remind you that not having enough time is exactly what gets you on this in the first place. So if the problem, solve the real problem that what you're something keeping you from solving it, then you are in a self perpetuating loop and you are stuck. Makes sense? So the real question is not when is it the right time. It never feels like the right time. The real question is when are you going to start making decisions based on your current circumstance and instead of based on your vision? Because if you only keep making decisions based on your current circumstance, you're only going to generate what? More of the same, which is loop, going back and forth. But when you start making decision on your future vision, well, you open yourself to a world, full of possibility. So which one of those ways do you want to go? Do you want to be the person who is constantly reactive, making decision based on their current circumstance and constantly going in circles, or the person who is able to get uncomfortable because that means getting in alignment with their vision? That's exactly the reason why. In this one, you reframe the objection as exactly why they need to get started. The start reframe used as the transform meeting step in the CI path. Permission. I had a client who also had what the actual client had, and he was also experimenting the same pain objection. But he realized, XYZ that you had at the same time, and therefore he wasn't able to actually get it. Example. Now, can I be honest with you for a second? I had a client named Bob who was also training health coach, same type of clients, and he was in a position where his business was failing, and the only way he could possibly do it was using credit. But he just felt like it wasn't, a responsible financial base on where he at now. But then he realized that was exactly the reason he needed to do it. He was in a place where he didn't even have 5K to win his name. And to him, that wasn't acceptable. So he bit the bullet and got uncomfortable. Because he knew a decision like this was truly the shift he needed to make to become a real entrepreneur. Because he did, now he's doing about 50K a month on a consistent basis. So the real question is, then go into contract, this or no one. Can I be honest with you? How would you feel if you missed out on your only chance to changing your situation? How would you feel if, because you didn't do this, you are in the same exact spot this time next year, still struggling with XYZ and ultimately making no progress? How would you feel if 6 months from now your situation got even worse and then you can't even do this if you wanted? So, section 2, the cost reframe. Can I be honest with you? Earlier on the call, you told me the consequences of what's going on if it doesn't happen. Is XYZ. So what you're going to do if you don't do this? Section 2, the cost reframe. Let me just put it up really quickly here. Can I be honest with you? Earlier on the call you told me, XYZ, the consequences are not going to happen if you don't change. It was a big thing for you. So what you are going to do if you don't do this? Example, earlier on the call you told me that your wife said if you don't figure out by the next of New Year's, there that means going back to your 9 to 5, and you said you were ready to jump off your office windows and having to do that. So let me ask you, what are you going to do if you don't do that? Section 3, checking down to the ridiculous for pricing objection. So when you say it's too much, what do you mean? Gotcha. Well, I hear you and I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you. Also, I want to reassure you that a lot of my clients feel that way before they put it in proper, context. Now that said, can I be honest with you? This is the last kind of part. Earlier on the call, you told me that your worst fear was your health getting even worse, and then 10, 15 years from now, having to go through the same health struggle. Your father did, right? The one that cost 10 or even 50K in medical bills to cover, no? And beyond that, it's not about avoiding that, but you also want to have a body that when you look in the mirror, you don't feel ashamed, and instead you can actually feel good in your own skin for the first time since your 20s. So I want to rely on you that with that for a moment and put this all into proper context because while I get that 5K right now, it might seem a little scary. This is an investment to get your health back, your self-esteem back now, not just now, but for the rest of your life. And to get that outcome, I guarantee you, if you put in the work, you'll be there in less than a week. So just to put the investment context here, 5K spread across a year is just over $10 a day. Across 5 years, it's just $2 a day. Is that too much to invest in getting your health back for a lifetime? The definition of self-sabotage. Now, that's pretty much it about the um, 27 module and how we can actually motion weight loss clinic past 7 figures. As always, thank you guys for listening to that video, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to book your discovery calls down below to see how we can actually help you motion your weight loss clinic past 7 figures. As always, thank you guys for listening to that video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.